Democratic Party, we're watching you.
Yeah.
We are disappointed.
Yeah.
We are angry.
Yes.
We are offended. And we feel like we're being mistreated, misused, and disrespected. We will not continue to be disrespected by the Democratic Party. As I said yesterday, and I'll say today and tomorrow, if you're an independent candidate, Green Party candidate, Republican candidate, now is your time in this city.
Meeting after the mayor canceled my event at the Corain Center for the Arts. We still had a powerful meeting of activists and concerned African citizens of Chicago. We're going to get into that tonight. I got to take an early flight back. But they are literally purging us. If they take Chicago, Black America is done. If they take Chicago, Black America is done. If they take Chicago, Black America is done.
Miles, turn right.
I heard that some of the Latino gangs are recruiting migrants. I heard that the migrants are being armed with weapons. I heard that the migrants are being set up to vote in next year's presidential election, although they are not citizens. The corrupt Chicago electoral process will allow the migrants to vote next November. The migrants are getting food, clothing, shelter, childcare, while hundreds of thousands of Black Chicagoans are struggling. They're using your tax dollars to finance people who don't like you.
And has seen what's going on with migrants coming to different communities and kind of like taking over in so many words. Right now, I just feel that the Village of Dalton, we don't have the resources for the migrants. We don't have the locations, and we definitely don't have the public safety as reference to police to man type of individuals that may come in, not to stereotype anyone, but individuals that may come in and we can't control the narrative or the situation. With the unscheduled buses, as other South suburban communities have done, they were giving the buses fines if they were dropping them off or making them leave. Now, I don't know, and I guess that's why it's for discussion, because we would have to look into how are they fined, what the fine is, and if a bus does come to drop off, do a drop off, how do we regulate them leaving with just by our ordinances. So it has been it's through a lot of different communities. We just don't have the resources. I know a lot of people, they need homes, they need shelter, they need things that some of us need also. But we don't have the resources as a community right now, especially with our financial situation. Implementing some type of regulations to stop the buses, then we can start putting in place so we don't have more squatters than we already have in those type of issues.
Needs and desires that are not being met, and migrants are occupying the spaces of African Americans' homes and shelters. Because you have to remember, Dalton is like 90% African American, and this is not a diss video towards migrants or immigrants. But the reality is that, well, if it was the opposite way around, would African American migrants be able to be on the streets in those countries? I'd probably say hell no. It wouldn't go that way around. And then, there's a rally call where migrants are asking for more resources, and you have politicians signing this bill. I know it sounds crazy, but check this out.
Dozens of people rallied in Chicago today for a solution to the city's migrant crisis. The Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights held its annual summit in Pilsen. Their community groups, activists, and labor unions joined together, calling for solidarity and support for migrants.
We are way overdue in creating a system of migration to this country that is rooted in compassion and in
number of elected officials pledged their own support for the coalition's policy platform, which includes calls for immigrant health care and more funding for community services.
What do we have to blame for this? Unfortunately, ourselves. The year is 2008, and there is a young man or younger man running for the presidency of the United States. He's running against Senator John McCain. I believe we all know who this young man became. Senator Barack Obama, who then became President Barack Obama. Now, my mother at the time told me, hey, you need to get out and vote. It's the first time I've ever voted, and I was like, well, who do I vote for? Well, when you get to the ballot, vote Democrat down the line. Don't vote for anybody who's Republican, just vote Democrat. Okay, so I go into the voting booth, and I did just that. I voted for Barack Obama, I voted for whoever else was there, and I just voted down the line. Now, I was excited when the guy got into office because many young people, such as myself at the time, went out and voted for him. But oh yeah, I didn't know what his agenda was. And he didn't need to have an agenda for me to vote for him because, well, as long as you're Democrat, just vote for them. The question is, what have black people gotten for their votes? And here's what typically happens. We're going to get upset. We're going to get pissed off. We're going to complain about migrants. We're going to complain about budget cuts. We're going to complain about our police staff not having the funding to do things. And then the next election, yeah, you got it. We're going to vote down the line Democrat. And that is the problem with us as a community. We don't have respect for ourselves. So then nobody should have that respect for you. If you're a person that doesn't respect yourself, why would I care about respecting you? So the migrants, if they're going to come in and take your resources, well, you voted for it. You said it was okay, and there's even videos of Joe Biden saying that immigration was the number one concern for him. And we voted, and he definitely has shown getting immigrants into the country is the number one concern. Why? Because Democrats need new voters who will be loyal to them. So as many immigrants that they can make, citizens that will become loyal to their party, that's what they're going to do. At the downfall of U.S. citizens, primarily African-American citizens. Here's the skinny on this. As a black community based in America, here's the great time that we should take part in getting to, 1, know each other, getting in 2, to connect with each other, getting in 3, learning how to do things and build business together, and to understand what our political agendas are. It's a great time to find out how to do that. There's no better time than now. And this is the time that we want to start learning how to respect each other, how to do business with each other. And I would say, have better connections for some of you who would like to do it. Everybody's not that, keen on it, but have relationships with all of the people in the black world. This is our opportunity right now. We cannot miss out on this chance to unite as much as possible, especially the African American community, because we see what the plan is. And guys, we're going to be wiped out. The way that the Democrats are looking at us, they want us out of there completely. We will completely be replaced by everybody else. And unfortunately, you're going to suffer. I'm going to suffer. Our kids will suffer. And that's not what we want, guys. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shirley Jackson. Back at it again with an episode of Kinganda. Fair use. We're out.
I went down to Sandy Hollow t'other afternoon. Went down to Sandy Hollow t'other afternoon. Went down to Sandy Hollow t'other afternoon. The first man I chanced to meet were old Zip Coon. Old Zip Coon, he's a natty scholar. Old Zip Coon, he's a natty scholar. Old Zip Coon, he's a natty scholar. He plays upon the banjo, Cooney in the holler. Oh, zip-a-dutton-dutton-dutton, zip-a-dutton-day. Zip-a-dutton-dutton-dutton-dutton-dutton-day. Zip-a-dutton-dutton-dutton, zip-a-dutton-day. Zip-a-dutton-dutton-dutton, zip-a-dutton-day. My old missus, she's mad with me. My old missus, she's mad with me. My old missus, she's mad with me. 'Cause I wouldn't go with her into Tennessee. Master building barn and put in the fodder. Was this thing and that thing and one thing or odder. Oh, zip-a-dutton-dutton-dutton, zip-a-dutton-day. Zip-a-dutton-dutton-dutton-dutton-dutton-day. Zip-a-dutton-dutton-dutton, zip-a-dutton-day. Zip-a-dutton-dutton-dutton, zip-a-dutton-day.
Now, through the videos, he been kissing men in the mouth. But look, his wife ain't going for it. He got to kiss her on the cheek. A man that kisses a man in the mouth and kisses his wife on the cheek. Question marks most definitely go up, ladies and gentlemen, as we take a look at him kissing men in the mouth and kisses his own wife on the cheek. Where they do that at, y'all? Look at his wife in the background of Oprah. Ooh, 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 ooh.